Welcome back to my Volcano Base. I'm about to break one of the rules that I set up, and I've only been doing this for like a month. When I started doing these comic book reviews, I decided I wanted to cover, I'll cover an issue from a series, and then it needs to be a while before I cover another one, so I'm not just like doing the same book every month. And then I read Peacemaker Tries Hard #2, and I just have to talk about it. We pick up right where we left off with the Brain and Mallah sort of clearing things up. No, they don't want Peacemaker to go attack Deathstroke. They just need Peacemaker to go attack General Immortus's lair and get a DNA sample of Deathstroke from there that they can use to grow Brain a new body. Just to make sure that Peacemaker's on the up and up, and to keep him honest, Mallah, the hyper-intelligent ape, goes with him. This leads to just some scenes of what I would consider like classic buddy cop kind of bonding. They don't seem to like each other very much, but then slowly but surely, Mallah and Peacemaker sort of like find some middle ground and find some things that they like. There's an example early on where they're going back to Peacemaker's trailer, and the kids of the trailer park are making fun of Peacemaker, and Mallah up and throws an entire tree at these kids. And Peacemaker's just like, you did that for me? Like, he is, we see time and time again in this series already, Peacemaker just has this like unending desire to be loved, and that may go poorly for him, as we're about to find out. Peacemaker's getting ready for this mission. He's trying to, his dad has made all these helmets for him. You see that in the TV show and in the comics. He starts kind of reminiscing in a bad way about his dad and how that growing up with his dad was, starts crying, or as he puts it, his cornea was scratched from taking out terrorists. And even though Mallah is speaking French, he puts a hand on Peacemaker's shoulder in a way of comforting him, in a way of saying it's okay. And it's just this really great moment, right? It seems like Peacemaker's getting some people, like he's found someone who gets him. There's some other scenes of them riding in the car and bonding over this band mucous membrane, and just starting to get along, right? Like starting to function as a team. He's found someone who he thinks he can call a friend. They get done with the mission, and kind of predictably, Mallah turns on Peacemaker, shoots him, leaves him for dead, and we see 2 pages of Mallah and the Brain talking over a communicator, and Mallah just like, look, I'm a hyper-intelligent ape. I only spoke French to you because I didn't want to have a conversation with someone as dumb as you. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's what it was. Your music taste is trash. You're a horrible human. Basically just like tearing him down. And we don't really get to see Peacemaker's reaction, but I can only imagine, based on the first couple of books here, that like he is just heartbroken, right? Like he just wants to be loved. He just wants friendship. He just wants to bond with another being, and that got ripped away from him. I really hope that plays out here, and Mallah and the Brain get their just desserts, but we won't know until the next issue. I'm finding this series really fascinating, right? Because like, on the surface, Peacemaker is kind of a tool, kind of a douchebag, but you just like him. And I'll admit that part of that is probably because I'm picturing John Cena and hearing his voice read in John Cena's voice, and that is just a really likable dude. But I think there's just something about this character who, at the end of the day, just wants love, just wants, I don't even want to say human connection, because he was connecting with a hyper-intelligent ape. He just wants connection with beings. And just wants to be loved. He had a terrible childhood, didn't get that love, and so he's looking for it wherever he can find it. And unfortunately, it means he trusts some people he shouldn't trust. And I just hope that Mallah and the Brain have their comeuppance at the end, and that Peacemaker gets some catharsis here, and maybe learns, like, yes, wanting love is important, but it doesn't mean you just like grasp at straws and go for anyone and everyone. I'm definitely picking up the next issue of this. I'm sold on this book. Like, I'm all in. I really just want to see like the trials of Peacemaker and where this goes and how he gets out of this. Go pick it up. We're only 2 issues in right now, so it's still a good jumping on point. I think it's a really great study in like, just because someone's a villain doesn't mean they don't deserve love. And with that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and interact for more volcanic vibes.